Welcome back, everybody. It is Astrat Divine here, and we are finally here with my top 5 games of 2019. As always, I'll be ranking, in my opinion, what are the best games of the year. And oh boy, I've been looking forward to doing this video for a while. My opinions have shifted and turned, flipped and switched, and changed a lot over the last few days as I've been really putting forward to thinking on what this list should be. The top three positions were very hard to place for me. They kept on changing and flipping. In fact, the list to my right, which is where I've written them, is actually inaccurate to what it is currently. So keep that in mind when we get to the bottom three, that it's actually basically all those games can be completely interchangeable between them. However, before we get into the main stuff, a few new rules I've added in for my stuff like this now is that I'm actually going to be now including major game updates. So when I say this, I mean like massive game updates, like fucking. What's an example that isn't on the list? Like for example, the No Man's Sky VR update, which added in the VR systems and a bunch of other crap like that. That I would consider eligible to appear on the worst games and the best games list now. So with that, I want to give out some. I want to give out an honorable mention to Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, which I do feel is a large enough expansion to be considered its own title. Very intriguing, very fun, lots of content to go through. Doesn't quite hit the peak to appear on my list for top five, but it was very good and a very enjoyable one, and a very enjoyable game. Another honorable mention goes to Cuisine Royale. This game was fun, a really fun battle royale. I'm now streaming it on Twitch regularly, so go give that a check out if you're curious. Very fun game, but a bit rough around the edges to appear in the top 5 list. So, let's get into it. Number 5 is the one that I think I'm going to get a lot of shit for. Fortnite Chapter 2. I know. I'm more than aware. I am a serial hater of Fortnite. I'm well known for it. I have talked shit about the game for close to a year. And here it is appearing on the top 5. Why? Because Fortnite Chapter 2 takes the game back to where it was at the beginning. It reverses everything that we had initially while keeping some of the better changes that they did throughout the course of the 10, 11 seasons. I don't know how many seasons they had. A shit ton of them. I stopped playing Fortnite around season 3. End of season 3 with the John Wick season. After that, I lost interest. And to be fair, the John Wick season was crap as well. I just did it because I wanted John Wick. Fortnite Chapter 2, however, brings the game back to basics, removing the fucking futuristic crap, the ludicrous weapons. The map has been altered and changed, so it's a fresher feeling. A lot more things to do in there, more ways to play, a new leveling up system, which is incredibly better for the overall player, and a lesser focus on having to pay to level up your battle pass now. All round is very good changes, and I'm actually in the works for a full in-depth review on Fortnite Chapter 2, Season 1. So I really want to go in-depth as to why I really enjoy this game so much. But all those changes aren't really the reason why it's appearing in my top 5. The reason it's appearing in my top 5 is because I have spent, no joke, easily over 100 hours, and 100 hours since Chapter 2 launched, on Fortnite. I have been back into it, addicted, having so much fun, playing solo, doing dumb crap, messing around with friends, on stream with you guys, having a blast. It's just been a good time. And as much shit as I've given the game, I can't take that away from it. And I think, without a doubt, Fortnite Chapter 2 takes its spot as a number 5. Coming in at the number 4 position is one of the ones that was not really expecting to see take its place. And that is Remnant from the Ashes. I only recently acquired Remnant. I haven't played too much of it. But holy shit, do I like Remnant from the Ashes. This game has been compared to as a Souls-like with shooting. Ignore that, it's not a Souls-like. People just say that because the game can have challenging, it's third person. That's dumb. It's got bosses, it's got shooting. It's not a Souls-like. It's its own thing. It's a third-person shooter with bosses, awesome co-op, really intriguing world design, randomizations on every single run of the campaign you do. So every time you play through it, it's different, which means multiple playthroughs you get different bosses. So replayability, and on multiple playthroughs your build starts to make your build starts to grow up, and you can actually customize how your playstyle adapts from your experience, which is really cool. It's fun, it's addictive, it's very good with friends. That's the one caveat to the game. You must play it with friends. Solo is quite dull, but with at least one mate, and if you get two mates on with you, it is a blast. The boss fights are long, drawn-out experiences where you have to shoot, dodge, shoot, micromanage stuff. It was terrific when you finally beat them. The end boss fight took myself and a friend about close to an hour to beat with off and on stuff, and we finally backed off and upgraded our shit and came back to it. And then we started to find some more damage outputs. But by the time we had a rhythm for beating it, it felt so good and rewarding. And I love it. It was incredible. And it was a complete dark horse candidate for me because it wasn't a game I was particularly interested in when it was announced. But I saw a few videos on it. I was curious. It was on sale. I grabbed it. And what do you know? It ended up coming number 4 for me for the year. So, yeah, Remnant from the Ashes. Really good game. Yeah, definitely one to check out. Now we're in the top 3. This was the hard bit for me. My opinions change, as do many people's, depending on situations, mood, and so forth. So ranking these 3 has been very hard. Very hard. My opinion flicks and switches constantly. And at the end of the day, I decided to go with and at the end of the day, I decided this is my opinion. I'm ranking them in the way that I had the most fun, enjoyable, and interesting time on. So, coming in at number 3 is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro was a game that was for the contender of the number 1 position. And it would have been there if it wasn't for the fact of the release of 2 games that I played later on. Sekiro is undoubtedly a masterpiece, and it is completely deserving of its Game of the Year award from the Games Award show. 100% deserving of the title. Just for me, I had more fun on the other 2 further in the list. I love Sekiro, and technically speaking, it is a masterpiece. The combat is incredibly well designed. The story is engaging. The endings numerous. Combat skills allow you to switch up your game style, even without the traditional Souls-like stuff with the RPG mechanics. It's another incredible outing from Software, and a true example of why they are the best at making hard games. They excel at it, making new combat. They do it. They do it so well. I love it. I truly do. There's not much I can say about it other than that than what's already been said. Everyone knows it. Everyone's heard of it. Most have probably tried it. It's the type of game where you'll either like it, you won't, as it is with the rest of my top 3, and I like all of them immensely. But yeah, check it out if you can. Definitely give it a go. It's about $60 in the PlayStation Store right now on a sale. If you're a bit hesitant, maybe don't grab that. Maybe play it at a friend's place first if you can. But I definitely think if you're a fan of awesome combat systems and incredibly tight melee and parry combat, you will adore Sekiro. It's an absolute masterpiece. Coming in at number 2 is the game that was originally slated for the number 1 position on my list, however, circumstances have changed, is Death Stranding. Everyone was probably expecting to see it on the list, and yes, I do find Death Stranding overall a better game than Sekiro. Death Stranding is a fucking masterpiece, and the fact it did not get nearly enough recognition at the Game of the Year awards pisses me off. I'm sorry, but it's better than Sekiro. That was undoubted as soon as I played it. Death Stranding is an experience. That's the best way to describe it. I don't want to talk too much on it, as it's the type of thing I want people to experience for themselves. It's that good. A lot of it is walking around the world and delivering packages. Yes, that is the core gameplay loop. But the experience of doing that, the story being told, the world you're exploring, the music, the sound design, it's stellar. It's stellar, and everything it sets out to do, it exceeds. I can not talk enough on just how good this game is. $100 easy, without a doubt, buy it. It's worth the money. Admittedly, I am one of the people who enjoy it, and as a lot of people say, this is one of the ones you'll either like or you will dislike. So look into it a little bit. Maybe watch the opening of it, or just look at some reviews, see if what they say appeal to you. I'm planning. I've been planning on doing a full review of it. However, it's such a tough game to review without spoiling anything because it's one of the ones I want everyone to experience, everyone to get that experience I got. And yeah, Death Stranding is incredible and 100% deserves to be in the top two. It's 100% deserves the second position. So, before number one, there's one more honorable mention I wanted to put in, which almost made it into the top five, much more than the previous honorable mentions. Is Resident Evil 2 Remastered. This was a game that I expected to make the list. However, I was shocked at just how much good shit that came out this year. Um, it was really good. It was really well done. It was a nice return. And if you're a fan of the Resident Evil series, it was excellent for you. And if you weren't really into it, it's a great way to get into it. With the release of, with the announcement of Resident Evil 3 Remastered, that's going to get a lot of people hyped up as well. The reason it didn't get into the top list is just because, as a horror outing, it felt a bit weak to me as a guy that's really hard focused on horror games mostly. So I just didn't get the horror impact of it too much. And also, it's a remaster. I'm very rough on remasters overall. Always I am. I'm sorry, it's a bit of a dick thing to do, but just how I am. So, coming in at the number one position is a game I only just started playing about 3 days ago, and I already have about 20 hours in. It's Code Vein. This game has flown under the radar for a lot of people. That needs to be fixed. Code Vein is, in my opinion, the best game of the year, without a doubt. It was really tough putting this above Sekiro and Death Stranding, but after playing it for as much as I have frequently and having as much fun as I have been having, I cannot, in good conscience, put it any lower than number one. Let's start from the top. Character customization. It is the best customizer I have ever used, and I have spent several hours messing around in it, making characters. It's fun. I've made characters from my favourite shows, anime, games even, just building them up, and I can use them now. Build-wise, it's so flexible in what you can do, with so many different classes to switch between, weapons to choose, upgrade paths to take, to partner up with your friends and go through. The boss design is awesome. The music is incredible. The only flaw I give it is perhaps at the soundtracks that there just isn't as much of the OST as I'd like. It cuts out a little bit in terms of the quantity, but the quality is incredible. Graphically, it's beautiful. The anime art style to it fits it incredibly. It's incredible. Uh, Code Vein did not get enough recognition this year, without a doubt, in my eyes. It deserves it. It really does. It's a fucking masterpiece. Um, it's legit Bloodborne, but anime style. Like, it feels like that at times. But honestly, I've had more fun at Code Vein than I did Bloodborne. I'd actually probably I'm not gonna say that yet. Actually, it's a contender for my favorite game that's with the Souls-like formula. Definitely, it's definitely the best we've seen in a long time. But yeah, I love it. And with that, that's an end to my top five list. I hope my rankings didn't annoy anyone. I know some people get caught up on this. It's my opinion. I'm very different to others. Have I usually have very wild and different opinions to most people because I like to be out there, and that's just how I am. I do like stuff a lot of people don't like. Let me know what your top three or even your top five games were. I'm curious what others thought of the games this year. My worst games list will be coming out very soon. That one will be a lot less positive and a lot more me being a fucking cynical cunt about them. And actually giving brief scorings of those games. Every game I listed here, by the way, is like 8 out of 10 and above, with the top 3 all taking like 9 out of 10s, and I maybe give Code Vein close to a 10 out of 10. That's a hesitant 10 out of 10 though, just because 10 out of 10s are hard for me to give out. Um, I've got a brand new 10-part video series in the works, which will be launching after the release of all of my New Year's releases, which we usually do every year. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to bore you anymore. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like it. If you didn't, please dislike it. And let me know what your games of the year were. I'm really curious. If you post them in the comments below, I'll gladly respond and give you some rough thoughts on what your number one spot was. Like for me. Or if I haven't played it, I'll look into it because I'm always open to new games to play for you guys. Anyway, please come check us out on Twitch if you want to see me more regularly. And please let me know if you want to see more of these list videos, as they are kind of fun to make. I will see you in the next video. Peace.